Howdy, folks. It's a Saturday morning. There's racing today at Turffontein on the inside track. It is the 16th of July. Good to be with you today. And good to be joined by Lyall Cooper on the show for the Saturday racing at Turffontein. We're on the inside track, Lyall. And both you and I will be at the course today, which is great news. So we'll be working together not only now, but later on as well. And it's a good track and it's a bit nippy, but it's expected to get up to about 19 degrees again today.
Yeah, one thing it hasn't been, Nico, is nippy. I'll tell you what, this July at Turffontein Lyall has been very pleasantly warm, I can tell you. It's been the most magnificent winter, but that might be worrying for summer because it hasn't been cold out there, Nico.
Yeah, well, not freezing cold as we know it, but during the course of the day, the days have been very pleasant, haven't they?
They have, but you're about 100 meters off the ground there, so it's probably colder up there where you call from.
I think it will be a little bit cooler there. We're on the inside track today, so we're in those private boxes there where we commentate out of. Anyway, Lyall, firstly, what does the card look like today? What is your impressions of the 9 races today?
I like the card very much. I did struggle to find bankers. I think you can go light in a few legs, but I didn't find standout bankers later in the card. But as you and I go through it, we might just find one or two for the punters. I like this card.
Okay. Well, I have gone through most of it, and I say most being just over 50% of it, because I'm relying on you for the later races, but I have looked at the first half of the card, and I'm hoping you can guide us in the right direction for the rest of them. I am going to share the betting with you first up, and then I'll run through the changes as we go through it race by race. So race number 1, there are no changes in the first of the day, and that is, as we can see, about 4 hours, 22 minutes away from now. 10 past 12 is the off time, and it is a maiden plate over a mile. Now, the favorite has come in for a lot of support. So this is Ashley Fortune's Total Protection from 14 to 10, currently 6.3 to 10, 13 to 20 in the original terms, I think is the price of this. And then it's 33 to 10, number 1, Clap of Thunder. So they're backing this like it's known already that it's going to win.
Yeah, I think that's right, Nico. Total Protection, Son of Ideal World, drawn 3, that 4th behind Acorn and debut, very decent debut, 3 winners from that form line. And then last time out, just behind Total Protection was Haya Fiata Ekuto. Was behind Total Protection. Yeah. Came and won a magnificent race on Thursday and is quite highly thought of. So I think Total Protection is very hard to beat. 7 main mission, 1 Clap of Thunder, and Lord of Light to fight out that second spot. But for me, best bet on the card. Right.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I also think he's got a big chance. Of course, he's related to a horse that runs later on called Prince Evelynov. Out of that mare, Lizzie Arden. But there's one other horse I wanted to just bring to your attention, and it's rank outsider. It's 33 to 1. It's number 5, Player. Now, you'd know, being in the golfing world, the colours are Gary Player here. This horse has had 2 runs, but been rested. Obviously, he had his fair share of problems, but his first run wasn't too bad, and then he went off. I don't know if Richard Three's going to ride today. Do you have any? I know he wasn't riding yesterday in PE. Yeah. But
I haven't heard anything. That's good news. So he's probably on his way, I hope.
Yeah, I don't see anything untoward. It may come through later on. But do you give us any form of chance whatsoever?
Well, not against the favourites, but I like your value here for a place. Certainly one to include at a big price.
Yeah.
On form loans, sure, he's going to have to really improve to come through and beat the favourite, I thought.
Yeah. I just thought, I remember liking him a bit on his second start after that Work Riders run, where he ran 3rd on debut. And I think the step up in triple also suits him. I'm going to keep a close eye on him. I won't let him run loose for the places. Number 5 Player there. Okay, let's go to race 2. So Lyall's bankering that. And I think I'm also rubber stamping that. I think Total Protection looks hard to beat and take what price you can. Race 2 is a maiden plate fillies and mares over a mile. Let's go to the changes first up here. Blinkers go on number 3, Bally Cotton. And number 7, Summerland, has a compression mask on. Even money, this favourite, Tabby Cat, number 8, for the Azzies, from 5 to 4 into even money. Nice move, and nice to have Randall Simons back riding today. So he's just got the 1 ride. It's his return to riding after a lengthy spell out the saddle. It'll be great to call him home today. 9 to 4, nice move. And then 5 to 1, Skyfall, number 6. Your thoughts on the second opening leg of the bipot?
Well, I thought it was a match race here, Nico, but I'm going to lean slightly towards the one nice move. Randall Simons, hopefully he can make a winning comeback. That form line behind Killshot is a nice one. He didn't run a bad debut behind Prairie Falcon, and then second behind Rock the Fox last time over the 16. I think Randall's probably been working this horse at home, drawn nicely at 5. That's the filly for me to beat. And of course, big respect for Tabby Cat. Good second last time. Samunga Kamala, obviously, we know how well Samunga's riding for the Aussie team. So, yeah, 1 and 8 in that order. I'll put them both into everything, Nick, and we should double up.
Okay, yes. Now, just my assessment of Tabby Cat's rating. I know that 2-year-olds, obviously, as you know, are not rated in the card. But on my assessment of Tabby Cat, I'm putting her at a gross rating of about 89. If she's got a gross merit rating of 89, her net merit rating comes into 70. Nice moves will be 71. So you can see with just a point between them and 4 kilos, I'm definitely with Tabby Cat at evens. But I rate Nice Move a very nice sort, who's a year older, and I think
should be a bit of a match race there, shouldn't it?
I think I'm leaning towards Tabby Cat, but like you say, the 2 horses I think will fight it out. Those 2 will be the 2 involved there.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to this third race, and for me, Lyall, the races that I looked at, this is the race of the day. This, for me, is the race of the day. I really like the looks of this race, and I think it's going to be a grandstand finish. Scratched is number 3, Great Affair, who was quoted at 8 to 1 the market. Compression Mask on the filly, number 4, Flying First Class. This, I think, has the makings of a great race. You've got Lamborghini, who's trying to qualify for the Gold Cup and make it. I think that they're still wanting to put him into the Gold Cup, which is... what is it now? 13, 14, 2 weeks away. It's exactly 2 weeks from now. It's 2 to 1, 9 to 4 Flying First Class, the filly, 4 to 1 White Fang, and 9 to 2 about Arlington Action. Those look to be the principal runners here with the scratching of Great Affair. How do you rate them?
Well, the betting might actually be spot on here, but I am going to go for Flying First Class, of course, at the weights, Nico. Kabela Matunyani for David Nieberhazen. A length and a quarter behind Lamborghini last time, 5.5 kilograms better off. The 3 runs back, she ran over the course and distance and won in that time of 165.74. So I think for me at the weights, 51.5 kilograms, she's going to think she's free. I think she's the one to beat. Lamborghini, utmost respect. And this is the horse that Lawrence Verners thought would never win a race. They really didn't fancy them.
Yeah.
And he's turning out to be such a good little stayer. And it was a good win last time. So obviously he could still beat anything. And White Fang, after that win last time, notably White Fang won in 164.62. So that's got to be a runner. And then Arlington Action is also 1 kilogram better off with Lamborghini. If I had to narrow it down, I'd probably go 4 and 5, Nico, if I had to put my head on a block here.
Now, you mentioned Kamala riding extremely well. Now, he rode this exceptionally well last time at White Fang, didn't he? I mean, it beat Arlington Action comfortably. It was always in front. And I just feel that the way the race pans out, who's going to go to the front? I think both Lamborghini and White Fang, now they're drawn together at 6 and 7 with a scratching of Great Affair. I'm trying to work out who's going to go off to the front and who's going to be too strong. I think White Fang is the value in the race, personally, at 4 to 1. Because I think if he dictates the matters here, with Kamala riding the way he is at the moment, he might just take a march and lead them in and not be able to be caught. I get your feeling on Flying First Class's weight, 51.5, and of course in middle stakes races, the 6 allowance of 2.5 kilos apply. So that brings Flying First Class, and even a horse like Ariam, who ran during the week again, into the race, because there's not much between them on earlier form. But I hear you saying Flying First Class marginally ahead of Lamborghini, but I don't think White Fang is out of it. And that's why I'm expecting those 3 to go to the line with little between them. And I think that
there we go.
The prices, with Lamborghini being half the odds of White Fang, I'd rather be with White Fang, to be honest.
I hear you. 4, 5, and 2. And White Fang's not the worst weighted horse in the race either, Nico.
Absolutely not. Even though he carries 58 and has to concede weight. He's that strong, relentless front runner. What did he carry last time? Just quickly.
He carried 56. He's up 2.
Yeah, he's up 2, Anyway, that was
on straight times. On straight times, the last time they all won course and distance, White Fang does boast the strongest time, followed by Lamborghini and Flying First Class. That's, of course, taking the weights not into consideration.
Yeah. If you take the weights into consideration, it puts them pretty much level pegging. So that's why I'm looking forward to it. I think,
in fact, Flying First Class carried 60 when she got that 165.7. Right. So and now she's got 51.5. So I am going to stick with her as my first selection.
Well, look, she's also nominated to run in the Gold Cup in 2 weeks' time. So she's also an entrant for David Neves and Zane Kirsten. So
yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait to see what happens over there. It has the makings of a very nice race. Race 4 jumps at 10-2. It is the start of today's pick 6. And in race 4, compression masks on 4, You Can't Hurry Love, and 6, Prince Evelynov. Looking at the betting, it's 33-10 Jamala, number 7. Jamala is at 33-10. You've got 4-1 Origami, 9-2 Razor Hallelujah, 6-1 You Can't Hurry Love, 7-1 Green Haze, and 8-1 London Roads. Very evenly matched, I thought, too, this fourth race, which is a merit-rated 96 handicap. How do you rate them?
Well, it's a good little race, this again. My first selection, in fact, is going to be Razor Hallelujah, Nico. Candice Dawson, King in the Mellow, drawn to, I see you nodding, I think you probably like this one with me. And that second by Bassier last time, excellent run. The second by Naval Guard, excellent run. That run, that penultimate, has produced Naval Guard ×3, Cool by Cal, Duke of Sussex ×2. This is a horse that's run a length behind Blackthorn. And if you go all the way back early in the career, there was 3.5 lengths behind Origami and 1 kilogram better, 1 kilogram. So I'm going to straight away flip the page and say I think Origami is a big runner too. So I think for me, 9 and 2 are my big ones, with others to follow them for that third spot. I think you agree with me.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Strange enough, that is my first choice in the race, Razor Hallelujah. I'm not concerned about the fact that it's running 11 days apart, because its last run was on the 5th of July. That makes it 11 days to today. But if you look back to December last year, the 18th of December and the 30th of December, ran second to Blackthorn and came out 12 days later and beat Supreme Dance in a tough race. I think this could well be the right one. I love the way this horse accelerates. It really flashes up. And DeMello has had a couple of rides in it, I think, for a second.
He has.
Earlier on a 5th. But I'm liking that price 9-2. I think I'm going to side with you, Razor Hallelujah. Strange enough, I put this horse You Can't Hurry Love into the race with Gavin Lorena.
Yes.
You know, Gavin, as well as another jockey in terribly good form, 9 winners since July Day. Since July Day, 9 winners. He's been riding them off the board. So I thought that was a runner. And I thought, as you said, Origami. Now, Origami and Razor Hallelujah, as you said, have got some collateral form. There's also some collateral form from Cape Town. In fact, not from Cape Town, from Durban with others. But I think Origami is a runner. And then I think Jamala and Captain are pretty much level pegging. I'm surprised to see Captain at 14-1, because if you go on Jamala and Captain's run in June last year, on the 23rd of June, look at that run. That puts Captain right on top of Jamala. I know Jamala has come out and won 2 in Joburg, but that's
3 kilograms.
That's sitting at 14-1, and I think that's a huge price. So I made this open, but like you, Razor Hallelujah, clearly my first choice.
I like it. Good. And I must just mention to the punters out there that Tony Peter has given confidence on his comments about Origami, saying that he has improved further. So big respect for that. Yeah.
And as we know, that ran to the stable companion Naval Guard last time out, and Kennedy's picked up the ride. Kennedy's also riding him brilliant. Absolutely. Okay, let's go to race 5, which runs at 2. It's a Pinnacle Stakes over the 1,600-meter trip. In race 5, number 1, Sovereign Spirit has blinkers, no earmuffs on the 2, Out of the Darkness, no blinkers. An important late change for number 6, Sound of Summer, no blinkers today, which is interesting. Now,
Tony mentioned that.
Did he mention that? Yeah, they've taken the blinkers off. I think that's a great move, because I didn't like it with the blinkers on. Now it's 18-10 favourite Sound of Summer, and I think it comes into the blinkers off. 2-1 Castletown, 5-1 Out of the Darkness, and 6-1 Sovereign Spirit and Express from the US, who's now out of the Waishong mowing yard. Small field, what are we in for?
You know, this I'm going to be so boring here. I think the betting's right, Nico. I think number 6 is the horse to beat. Number 3, Castletown for second. Express from the US, Out of the Darkness, and Sovereign Spirit will follow them home. But Sound of Summer, I do think it's the right one here. Warren Kennedy, drawn 5. That run behind El Mutana was a cracking one. Blackthorn was in that race. Inglamu was in that race. Of course, El Mutana's come through and won again. And on the last run, Sound of Summer was 1 1/4 lengths behind Castletown and 4 kilograms better off. So should turn around with Castletown, who's very consistent. So for me, 6 from 3, and then I'd probably go with Express from the US, your horse that's been slightly disappointing.
Yeah, I think he's due for a good run. I think he's due for a good run, Express from the US. If you look back at that Donald McDonald run in November last year, he's got Sound of Summer actually thumped on that run because he's 4 kilograms. He's 4 kilos better off on that run to Donald McDonald. But on that day, Sound of Summer was wearing blinkers. That's why I say the equipment change without blinkers makes Sound of Summer thrown into the race here with a big chance. I do rate Castletown. I think this horse has finally got the hang of it. We'll all remember the day that he lost his weight, poor old Cabello. And he's made up for it, I think, in a couple of starts since then. But I think this horse is an upward trajectory. I believe that Castletown is a massive runner there too. So like you, I think the winner will come from 3 or 6, and I'm expecting 5 to improve. I see it very much the same as you there.
Good, pretty the betting's spot on probably.
Right, then we go to Lyall Cooper's soliloquy here, because I'm not going to participate in this race of 6-9. I'm relying on you completely here. Race 6 is a classified stakes at 3 p.m. over 1,200 meters. Scratched or 7, just as rich, and 8 meteoric. Compression mask is on number 9, Caruso. 5-2 the pair, Coming in Hot and Corvette Captain, both at 5-2, and 9-2 Baby Don't Hurt Me and Meet the Captain. Your feelings on those 4? Are you going for one of them to win?
Right, so it's not the easiest race. So just a stat again, I love my stats. 65% of races over 1,200 meters around the turn are won by the horses that have a draw 1-4.
Right.
So my first selection is going to be Baby Don't Hurt Me, the daughter of Twice Over. She's the tie best weighted horse in the race. She's drawn 1. Although she was beaten by Meet the Captain back on the 28th of June, she needed that run. And look at the draw turnaround here. She's got the 1, Meet the Captain's got the 8. Merit running down to a 66. I think she'll run well. So Baby Don't Hurt Me is my top selection. Number 6, Meet the Captain, not liking the draw, but loving the jockey. Obviously in good form at the moment, running well. And then, of course, we can't leave the top 2 out. Coming in Hot, Gavin Arena for Fani. Bronkhorst cannot leave that out. And, of course, Corvette Captain, horrible draw. Keegan DeMillo aboard and has got some good form. So it's not easy. I think those 4, as you mentioned, Nico, for me, 5, 6, and then 1 and 2. And I'd throw in a horse like Caruso maybe for a bit of value.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it. Baby Don't Hurt Me, your top choice ahead of Meet the Captain. I'm still looking here to see whether Fourie is making the trip to Joburg today. We're doing the show just after 8 a.m. in the morning, and I don't see any changes on him. So we take that Fourie is riding, and Lars tipping the 5, Baby Don't Hurt Me, ahead of 6, Meet the Captain. And then 3rd, you're saying either 1 or 2. Which do you prefer?
Sure, I'll probably go with number 1 because of the draw, Nico. The 10 draw over 1,200 is just horrible. So I'll go number 1.
Okay, so the value definitely with Baby Don't Hurt Me there from the Peter stable. It, of course, broke the record on Thursday. You were there, were you? I think you were. I didn't see the
end. It was lovely to be part of it. It was an honor to be part of it. Yeah.
I see you setting the record now for the most number of winners trained in a season in South Africa. So that's fantastic stuff for Paul Peter. And he's going to continue to surpass that record, and let's see what the final number ends up at. Okay, race 7 is a graduation played over 1,200 meters. Scratched off 5, Dronfield, and 8, Ridge Runner come out of race number 7. Those are the changes there. So Dronfield was 12-1. Ridge Runner was one of the fancies. Now Constable is the favorite, marginally ahead of Tuscan Winter. And then after that, you've got Sound of Hounds and then the rest of them. So is this a race between Constable and Tuscan Winter?
I would think so. With Mathis, we've got to just mention Mathis, but let's start off with number 2, Tuscan Winter. I really didn't like the draws, but now that the 5 and the 8 are scratched, Tuscan Winter will move into 5, excuse me, and Constable into 6. In a small field now, it's not too serious. So I think Tuscan Winter could be the right one here. Did beat number 1, Constable, if you go back to the 26th of March, quite cozily, and could win a race like this. I think this Tuscan Winter is even a potential banker, but will have to be Constable in best form, running well. Richard Ferree, we know how well he is, nicely weighted. And then number 4, I was going to sort of brass this horse a bit, Nico, but
no, hang on. So my apologies. I completely missed this horse in the betting, and I've got to mention it. It's actually pronounced Matisse, I think. I think it's it's pronounced Matisse, and the reason is because I pronounced it when I commentated on its first run when it beat Let Me Go comfortably. I pronounced it as Mathis, but I think it's a French word, Matisse.
Okay, thank you.
Which I think means gift from God, if my research is correct. And it's owned by Brittany Maestri.
Yeah. Hopefully she's there today. Yeah. And I'll speak to Lyall. And because Tony pronounced it Mathis. That's why I was just copying him.
Yeah, I think it is pronounced Matisse, though. So it's Bush Hill Stud's horse, but I think they might have named it themselves. So we'll wait to get the rundown. Maybe you can speak to Lyall Maestri or his daughter, Brittany, and find out from them what the story is there. But I think this has got a chance. I think it's got a chance.
Tony was very bullish. Nico really was going to brass this, but after listening to Tony
what did he say? What did he say?
He said, this is a really good horse.
Yeah.
Really good horse. So that really worried me that I didn't include it. So I'm certainly including it now. 2-1-4. That's it for me. Done.
I was very impressed when it won its debut at Turffontein. That was up the straight. It goes around the turn today, but it does face stiff opposition. It's not going to be plain sailing for him. I think it's a runner.
He did say that. He did say he's got to beat those top 2.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the ratings, Matisse basically is rated an 80 when you take into account the weight for age here. But it is receiving 3 kilos and 2.5 kilos from the top weights. We'll wait to see that. I think it's a race between them. Okay, on to race 8. It's a classified stakes race over 1,200 meters. In race 8, scratch number 1, Anfield's Rocket is out. Number 4, Princess Sabrina, now has Alamites in front and a tongue tie. And number 6, Trust the Fire, Alamites in front and Unshot behind. Right, the betting has the McQuackers 33-10 with the Letitia's Angel 33-10. 6-1 about basically Into the Future, Trust the Fire and Roger the Dodger. 8-1 Moonstrike and Mix the Magic. This looks horrible.
Well, yes, Nico, and I think they had the wrong favourite with Anfield's Rocket. Although he's been really, really good with 60 kilograms as a 2-year-old, I thought he was going to be beatable. So I like number 5, Into the Future, anyway, before he was scratched. Muzieni for the Bottas Forstry team. Again, not loving the draw, but at least it'll move into 7. And that run behind Scott Adita, I like that run there. Beats number 9, Letitia's Angel, on that run there. And with a merit rating down to a 66, I thought could be in the right race here. He's the best weighted boy in the race. I think Into the Future is my selection. Number 7, Roger the Dodger. Don't let this horse go free. Ignore that last one completely. Draw a line through it. The tongue ties on now because of that.
Yes.
And I think he could run well here as well. And he's drawn 4. So those were my top 2 here. Then, of course, Letitia's Angel, who is weighted nicely. And only then the McWackers. McWackers not well in here at all, even though he's drawn 1.
Doesn't it love this track, doesn't it?
He does. 4 times he's run with 3 wins and he's drawn 1. So he would have a chance. But I was leaning towards the 5, the 7, the 9, and then number 2.
Okay, so your top choice is Into the Future, who's at 11-2. 6-1, you can basically get about Into the Future's last top selection to beat home 7, 9, and then 2. Am I reading that right then? That's the way you're rating
exactly. I didn't think it went much further than that.
Yeah, this race, I'm just having a quick look. I don't like it. I think it has the recipe for a disaster.
It could be.
That's probably the most difficult on the card for me. Okay, on to the 9th and last. This is a merit-rated 68 handicap over 1,450 meters. In race 9, scratches number 8, Speechmaker, and then quite a few equipment changes. Number 1, High Moon is unshot, no Alamites. 2 Catch the Green Light, a compression mask. 6 Seaways, a Cornell collar goes on, and Cheap Pieces on number 12, twice as special. The money looks to be for Parker Getrix here, from 14 to 1 into 6 to 1. Ran a very good post maiden effort last time out, because that was the run to Sir Michael, who won really well. That's the money horse. But at the top of the board, Silly Fella, who surely has to be rewarded sooner or later for his consistency.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think this is one of the better bets on the card because of that draw. Silly Fella, he could be a banker, consistent form, dropping in trip, and with Gavin in such fine form and that draw of 1, he will be right there. The slight problem is, if you look at that last run, he was a length behind Windsock, and he's 1 kilogram worse. So although Windsock's drawn horribly, he has to be a bit of a player as well. 7, Lulu's Boy, also a nice run on that last run there behind Quadro Posse. Samunga from a decent draw of 5. And then Parker Getrix, I was actually standing with Chris Jonker when the horse ran 7th, and I was sort of pulling a face like, yeah, that's okay. Chris, he said, no, that's really good, Lyall. And I was, good point, I suppose. That was a cracking last time out. And this is the horse, Parker Getrix, that cuts himself up quite badly, Nico. He's actually a lot better than the form might suggest. He literally cuts himself while he's running. So Chris has sort of invented this bandage now that stops him cutting himself. So I agree with you that this horse could be some nice value for a place. But I thought this, for me personally, from that draw, this too is going to be Silly Fella's day.
Yeah, it could be. I just thought that this horse has to be rewarded sooner or later for its consistency. With Gavin Larena on, he rides so well for Fani Bronkhorst. I mean, if you look at the stats, I don't know if those are updated, but 5 wins from 12 partnering that he's partnered for the stable. I thought that looked good. Now, the reason why they're backing Parker Getrix, obviously, is because he ran in a graduation plate with horses much higher rated than him, and he ran 3 3/4 lengths off. So they're obviously saying that he's still running off his rating of 58, but if he runs to what he ran in behind Sir Michael, then they're banking on the fact that he runs the same type of race. The people that have backed him 14 to 1 to 6 to 1. I have my reservations when looking at those stats and that sort of thing when they run in plate races, because the question is, can they reproduce the runs? There's nothing to suggest they can't, but like you, I'm a Silly Fella man today. What else did you feel? Windsock from a bad draw, you said had a chance. What else? Anything else?
Well, Windsock would have a big chance if he had a good draw. I'd make him a serious opposition. The 7 horse, Lulu's Boy, I think could be a bit of value from that draw. Samunga Kumalo notably retains the ride here. Merit rating is okay. And if you look at the average merit rating he was running against, the run behind JP 2000, for instance, the run behind Florentine, not bad run. So he's got to just be mentioned. And then just for the quartet and trifectas, don't leave out number 2, Catch the Green Light. But quite a few of them are notably held by number 9, Silly Fella, besides Windsock. So Silly Fella will more than likely be in the top 2. Hopefully he can win. And I thought the dangers 5, 7, and maybe number 11. Oh, well, by the way, I'll try and get Chris Jonker. I'll try and interview him somewhere in the day and chat to him.
Yeah, has he only got that one runner today, has he?
Let's have a look. Let's quickly have a look. Chris Jonker.
He's got Burning Ice in the same race, so it's just the last race. I don't think he'll be arriving too early, but if you do catch him before the last, try and see what he says about it. I've got Parker Getrix and me are like oil and water. I didn't like the horse from day one. I didn't back it when it won its maiden. I didn't follow it last time out. So maybe I'm a bit not anti it, but maybe I've just got too much of a judgment call on him. But I think that
Nick, I must tell you, at least 3 of these runs you're seeing here in the maidens, he cut himself. At least 3. I'd say more like 4. He cut himself very, very badly. So he would have won his maiden a long time ago. It's not that bad.
Now, in wrapping up, I'm listening to, if someone listens to the whole conversation that you and I have had now, there was one horse that we both agreed on fairly strongly, and you'll remember it throughout. So if Neil Andrews is listening, if he had to listen to this interview and we didn't speak to him, which horse would he say would be a potential price booster for us today?
Razor Hallelujah?
Correct.
Razor Hallelujah.
That's the only one that could be a potential. Whether or not he chooses it is another story, but that coming out of this interview would be the evidence, would be the evident choice going on what we've spoken about. Lyall, I really thank you for this morning. I look forward to working with you later on this afternoon. And we'll see you at Turffontein, and hope that you'll discard that jacket, because it's not like you to feel cold.
Well, I certainly will. Although I'm wearing my suits on Saturday, Nico, I'll look quite smart, I hope.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much, Lyall.
Thank you, Nico.
Go well.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.